So Saturday, I was at the Red River Rivalry, as it's called today. As I grew up, it was the Red River Shootout.
Whoa, bud.
They should have just done showdown and kept the syntax.
No.
R-r-s.
No, you just shouldn't have messed with it at all.
Well, that's true.
Red River Shootout. It doesn't increase gun violence. Stop it.
Might as well bring it back.
It's Texas and Oklahoma. It's cowboys and boom, boom, boom. We shoot guns. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. Anyways, so Red River Shootout is an event that I go to every year with my grandparents. I've gone to it I've missed it maybe twice in the last 25 years.
Dang.
So it's a big deal. It's basically the only thing that I do annually in my life. And it's one of my favorite days of the year, every year. It's like another Christmas for me. Having experienced this rivalry my whole life, growing up in it, becoming an adult, and still being just as passionate and interested in it as it always was, it's brought me to the subject of the greatest rivalries in sports.
Ooh.
Oh.
And how I consider that in that upper echelon of anyone and anything that you can mention.
Well, it's certainly the biggest one in college football, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, that's debatable as well.
I don't think so.
And I actually...
There's some competitors, but I really don't.
actually disagree.
Oh.
I think it's the second greatest rivalry in college football.
Is it behind Ohio State and Michigan?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
That is the best rivalry in college football.
Just because the big house seats like 1 million people doesn't mean it's the better rivalry.
No, it's not. Michigan is the winningest program in college football right now.
Yeah, but they don't have
Ohio
Harbaugh
State
anymore.
is like fourth.
Yeah, but they don't have Harbaugh anymore.
That doesn't matter.
I mean, they just...
You're making stupid... You're no. Just kidding. So, what I wanted to do is see if the three of us can... And we don't have to agree on the order of it or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But can we hammer down 5 of the greatest rivalries in sports?
Red Sox, Yankees.
Yeah, that's certainly one of them. Red
Absolutely.
Sox, Yankees.
Red Sox, Yankees is a gimme.
One of the interesting things here is sometimes you have a team that has multiple rivalries, and when that happens, it can water down what is their biggest rivalry. Because I was just thinking about the Cowboys, and I was like, well, it's not Cowboys Commanders anymore, and Cowboys Eagles is big, but I'm like, well, now that you have 2 of these rivalries, it's hard to say that any one of those is much bigger than the other. That's my take on that.
Yeah, with a lot of these divisional opponents, the hate is kind of equalized amongst all of them.
Right. Kind of like I was talking about a couple episodes back with the NL East with the Phillies, the Mets, and the Braves. It's like that, yeah.
I've got a couple of ideas. I've got some out of the box ones. I'll take it inside the box first. One that it's been going on for a long time. It's been rekindled and dekindled and rekindled again. Celtics Lakers.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah,
that is 100%.
Is that the biggest one in the NBA, hands down?
Oh, that's not even close.
Yeah, I would say for sure.
I'm not sure there are any rivalries.
Right, yeah. It's like the 2 teams in the NBA that are the Yankees, and then everybody else falls off. I mean, what one's got like 16, the other has 15 championships, something like that, or 17, 16.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't even think of any others in basketball that would.
I think it goes down to the Bulls and the Warriors next.
It's really silly how basketball has just been a 2-team show for like 40% of the league's existence, maybe more.
Got to give Adam Silver one thing. This is the first time it feels like the league's ever had some parity.
Yeah,
right.
So,
yeah.
Because David Stern certainly didn't have it.
So we've got Yankees, Red Sox, Celtics, Lakers.
Okay.
We've already said Texas OU.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all in agreement that that's on there?
Yeah.
Is there a bigger rivalry in the NFL? Like, I mean, Bears Packers.
Bears
that's
Packers.
a huge one. I don't know if any of the. I don't know. Even that one doesn't feel like it's of that echelon we were just talking about, though.
Yeah. It's more for them, less nationally.
Yeah, less in pop culture.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there are any.
Like Celtics, Lakers, definitely pop culture.
In the NFL. I'm not sure there are.
Which is
any.
wild. It's the biggest sport.
Well, I think that actually speaks to the health of the NFL.
True.
It's just any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Very true.
Well, I would say like a lot of those Midwest teams, all of the guys in that division with Detroit and
they all
and
hate
Chicago
each other so
and
much.
Green
The
Bay.
Vikings.
Yeah.
God, that's a nasty division, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'd say they hate each other more than the NL East. Or the
How
NL
long have
East,
the Yankees and Red
NFC
Sox
East.
been playing each other regularly?
Oh man.
Since 1903?
They've been in the same division
1902?
since 1902.
Well, it was it was just the AL till like 1969, and then they've been in the AL East since then together. Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's a long time.
Because Texas OU has played sporadically before then, but they've played every year consecutively since 1929.
wow,
Dang.
that's crazy for college football, man.
When I was looking up just the history of the games, and I think like the longest streak that any team has ever had over the other team in the Red River is 8.
Like as a win streak,
Yeah, and I think they were both Texas.
it was one of those the 90s.
No, one of them was in like the 40s, and
Oh,
the other
wow.
one was in like the 60s.
Okay.
60s Texas was very good.
Oh, the Daryl K.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
recent ones too, where Texas has come in either unranked or underranked than OU and has won a lot of those.
3 of the last 4 meetings, OU has failed to score a touchdown.
Yep.
Wait! I did not pick up on
Yeah,
that. Hold on. Say that again.
3 of the last 4 meetings, OU has failed to score a touchdown.
And how many of those were they ranked in the top 10?
I don't know.
I can find out.
Because I
I'll
mean,
find out.
1, just
well,
this
okay,
last one,
okay,
probably.
okay. But still, that's 3 out of the last 4 meetings. OU has failed to score.
Basically,
a
as
touchdown.
soon as they don't have a Heisman-winning quarterback, we've been kicking their ass.
Did in this other fourth game, did they win?
No,
So they're on a 4-game winning streak.
no. So
No.
yeah, they're 3 out of the last 4, and then the other one they lost.
Okay, okay.
It was the one they lost was 34-30.
But I mean, 3 out of 4, I'd say that's
So yeah,
that's some spanking.
this year obviously Oklahoma was ranked 6. Last year Oklahoma was ranked 18. Texas was ranked number 1 at the time, and then the year that we lost in 2023, OU was ranked 12 and we were ranked 3, and they upset us.
Oh, okay. So I went to 3 of those games with you. The most recent one that I went
Pretty
to.
sure you lost. We lost in all 3.
We
of them,
lost
right?
in all 3, and I'm
We'll
pretty
never
sure.
go back.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure your grandma said that, and I haven't been invited back. So I mean, I don't blame him though. I mean, I'm hella unlucky charm at this point. But the last one was like a heartbreaker because if I remember, that was the one where they scored like 2 touchdowns in the first like either minute or like 90 seconds, and then like ran the score up and still managed to lose it. It was the game they switched quarterbacks.
Yeah, that was the game they went to Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Damn you, Caleb Williams.
Well, I'm going to steer this ship back over to the cold open.
Yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
I have got one. This one's a little bit out of the box. This is Roger Federer
Oh,
versus
non-team
Rafael
sports.
Nadal.
Dang.
This was big.
That is
This is a very
gigantic.
big one.
Oh, well,
Federer versus Nadal.
If we're going singles rivalries, was Tiger and Phil pretty big at one point?
Well, see, I have a golf one, and it's not Tiger and Phil. It goes
Okay.
further back.
Oh, Jack and Arnold.
Jack and Arnold.
Ooh.
I will have to disagree with this one simply because
tennis.
I don't think that this is a 2-person rivalry. I think that Djokovic is every much a part of this trio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
you're
very
right.
true.
I feel like we'd be selling that man short.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Good for tennis, though. That was very good for the health of the sport.
Where are
Because
y'all with Nicholas and Palmer?
How much did they? Because Nicholas came on towards the end of Palmer's
Right.
reign, right?
Yeah,
And then was Palmer ever as dominant as Nicholas was?
I mean, they both have a ton of majors.
Okay.
Jack's
Jack's got the record.
Yeah, Jack's got
Right,
18 majors.
Jesus.
Palmer has 7.
Okay.
Yeah, Jack's number is insane.
Yeah, but he was,
If Tiger doesn't do it, I'm not sure anybody does it.
yeah. Oh, no way. Yeah, no way.
Wait, are you still? Did you say that in the sense that he could still do it?
No,
Oh,
I say
okay.
that in
Oh,
the sense that
okay.
if he's not gonna do it, nobody's gonna do it.
Tiger will.
I was about to say, I was
he'll
like,
never
wow.
win another major.
No.
Where is this hope coming from?
No.
I don't have a dog in the fight, but I know that it is a contentious rivalry. But the Montreal Canadiens versus the Toronto Maple Leafs,
True, honestly, yeah.
the 2 big Canadian powerhouse teams of like the 40 teams that they field in the NHL.
I'm glad that you mentioned that.
40. That's their goal.
And now
to
we
get there,
don't
I
have to
think.
mention
Yeah,
it
I think
anymore
so.
because it's Canadian hockey.
Yeah. But I think of those 2, they have the thickest rivalry between Ottawa and Vancouver and all those.
Was it the Canadians in '93 or whatever were the most recent Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup?
It's been a hot
Yeah,
minute.
I think it's like literally my entire life, man. It's crazy. And then like Edmonton's had a chance the past couple years and couldn't get it done. Freaking Florida teams.
Montreal Canadiens, 1993.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
I would
That
still
is
like to
crazy.
put Ohio State, Michigan on the list just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's so long. They've been doing this over 100 years. I don't know. I like it. I like both of those. I guess I'm a little biased about the college football rivalries, but there's a lot of history there.
Can I throw out one other baseball one that feels like it's up there?
Yeah.
At first, I was thinking Cubs Cardinals, and I was
I
like,
thought that as well.
but then Giants Dodgers.
Giants Dodgers.
That one's it's over two different sides of the coast, which
Yeah.
is kind of cool. And go back to the 1800s. Those teams, because they're in the National League and have, predate the AL. So
That one might sneak in as our number 5 spot then.
Well,
the Brooklyn Trolley
I've
Dodgers.
got one more that really
Uh-oh.
sticks out for me.
I feel like this is gonna be a good one.
This
Look at
is
the look on your face.
kind of on the tennis line where it's singular individuals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ali Frazier.
Yeah.
We're gonna have. I think we may have to divide up team sports and individuals.
Yeah.
Because you can make. If you want to go individuals, I feel like we could find some good ones. Because Ollie Frazier, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
What about like
3 fights.
The Rock and Triple H?
Frazier won the first one.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, The Rock and Stone Cold.
That was a good rivalry too. Undertaker Kane.
You were my brother, Anakin.
I hate you.
I've got one. The Buffalo Bills and the Super
Super
Bowl.
Yeah.
Just
The Super Bowl
That's
trophy.
Like, that's not a
Yes.
rivalry. That's an
They
asshole.
got AFC titles out the wazoo.
That's not competitive.
Yeah.
Got cut short, but Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could say
Trying
that.
to think. Did Richard Petty have any competition back in the day? Not really.
Well, in
He was the king.
in the Gordon Earnhardt matchup is similar to Jack and
Well, I guess,
and,
Yeah, the
and
old
Palmer.
and new guard, yeah.
yeah.
and then I guess Gordon and Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
afterwards. So because
I found another one. Tony, you might be able to shed a little more light on this one because I don't follow college basketball really that all. But Duke, North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe we haven't talked about college
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Duke, North Carolina is enormous. Yeah, we definitely forgot about that one.
Does Kentucky have any?
Rock Chalk.
They just beat up on everybody.
The Rockin' Chalkin' Jay Hawkins.
That's absolutely the best rivalry though.
Okay.
And everybody hates Duke, but nobody hates Duke like North Carolina hates Duke.
This one lists Army Navy as the number 1, and I think that's a cop out.
Fair. Yeah, and that's just like the level
It's
of
like
competition
maybe in like
on there.
the 40s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like they just play at a lower level of competition these days, and nothing against them. It's just like they got a whole other thing going on there.
And it is worth mentioning that those offensive linemen that play at Army Navy still have to meet all the military qualifications for fitness that all the rest of them do.
Interesting.
So they still have to run their mile in whatever time that is.
So do they have like slender dudes on the O line?
They're still big dudes.
Okay. Oh.
Alejandro Villanueva, I'm not sure he still is, but he was the left tackle for the Steelers for a while, and he ended up after his service run, he ended up putting on like 100 pounds or something like that of like muscle, and went back to football.
Really?
He was like 6'8", 330 by the time he was enormous.
India, Pakistan? Was that one?
Dude, if you were like looking at an article and they just snuck that in there, that'd be hilarious.
Trump and democracy.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi and the Truth. Did you guys see the SNL cold open?
I did. I
Oh
just
my god!
watched it.
Like the makeup on Tina Fey was so good when she.
I didn't realize it was her.
I thought it was Nassim Pedrad at first.
Yeah, I did too.
I was like, oh, they brought Nassim back, and then I was like, holy, that is Tina.
Welcome to the Ranger Zone. We are 3 gargantuanly obsessed Rangers fanatics, semi-qualified to dish out our takes like hotcakes, from the fans to the front office. I am Robbie Belusic.
I am Chris Green.
I am gargantuanly Tony.
We have a fantastic episode, as always, for y'all. Lots of news has been happening since the baseball season has ended for the Rangers. A lot of front office stuff, a lot of managerial stuff, and we're going to get into all of that stuff.
Playoffs?
But before we do that, how about a little bit of news?
It's the news.
And it's the use.
First up here in the news, Jake Boyga had surgery to repair a torn tendon sheath in his left wrist. It was a lingering ailment since the injury occurred back in August. Young had a similar surgery that was performed in 2024. Berger said that the cortisone shot that he was receiving that helped him kind of along through this injury, but eventually, wore off, and he tried to compensate for the pain, leading to a 2-for-28 skid at the end of the season. He had recognized that his swing rate was way out of control, and that ultimately put him in a lot of bad counts. So glad that wrist is healthy. We're going to need that oblique to get healthy, and then whatever else was ailing him, because that guy was just plagued by injuries this year.
I'm not sure what the swing rate and the wrist injury have in common, other than just if he was just focused on the wrist and free swinging because of it, but
Hard to focus through the pain.
I guess,
Stay in the moment.
Yeah.
He was just trying to get on base by any means necessary.
Yeah, that's, I think, exactly what it was. Just desperation at the plate.
Which, I mean, if it was late August, there was some good baseball he played with that injury, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kudos to him for trying to grind through it. Mm-hmm. I mean, and the position the team was in at that moment was a position where he needed to. Yeah. It wasn't like, yeah, buddy, just rest up. We're good. Get healthy. It was like, we need somebody with a bat to hit balls, please.
Yes.
These little rascals they can only do so much.
We'll continue on the surgery side of things, where Nathan Uvalde,
our king,
he had surgery to repair a bilateral sports hernia. Ooh. This injury was unrelated to his late season IL stint, which was a strained rotator cuff in the shoulder. The shoulder has since healed, and it's not going to impact his winter, said GM Ross Fenstermaker. Seager actually had 2 of these sports hernia surgeries in January, or at least one of them in January, but 2 of them in 2024. He missed most of spring training.
It was very frustrating that he did it so
waited so late.
Yes.
He was obviously he was able to come back because he got a little bit of spring training work and was ready for opening day. And since Uvalde's surgery was done in October, he is going to be completely ready for spring training and opening day, which he very well may get a 3rd consecutive opening day start for the Rangers,
which is wild.
Yep.
Completely unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I mean, Jacob did lead the team in innings. Would they give it to him for that? Since it's like, hey, man, you came back off a TJ and led the team in innings.
He is Jacob deGrom.
That's very true.
Mm.
It's a good problem.
Don't you love this
baby?
problem? Do we give it to Jacob or do we give it to Nate? Oh, man. We're spoiled.
Embarrassment of riches.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Next up here in the news, catching coach Bobby Wilson, who we just talked about in
Very
our Remember
sad.
the Rangers segment a couple episodes
jinxed him.
ago.
Bobby Newport.
He is not going to return for the 2026 season. The Rangers have dismissed him. Rod Barajas, former Texas Rangers catcher, is speculated to possibly be on the short list. He caught for the Rangers in 04 through 06 and was the quality assurance coach for Skip Schumacher. Spoiler alert, looking ahead, a little foreshadowing into the episode. He's our new manager. While he was in Miami
Spoiler
in 2023. He's since been working Rod Barajas in LA's the LA Angels minor league system. Next up here, the Texas Rangers, along with the Baltimore Orioles, had the lowest success rate of challenges this season at 40.4%.
I watched a lot of these games. It felt like we got jobbed. a lot of these though. Like we were getting abnormally jobbed. Like and I know there's a lot of that's homerism. Like oh well, my team was right, but there were some times where the call stands as opposed to call is confirmed, where it was like really guys?
This could have gone either way, and it just didn't go our way a bunch.
Yeah. But then again, every team can probably make those same claims.
Yeah.
So 40 is kind of terrible.
And I feel like the NFL has really set the precedent for how other sports review plays, where if it is not blatantly overturnable, you've got to just go
err
with
on the side of what happened on the field.
Exactly.
Somebody was making an argument the other day that I can't remember who I was listening to, but they were saying that system creates more questions than answers as opposed to just having a yes or a no.
Yeah.
They're like, if they just said call stands and call overturned as opposed to calls confirmed.
Yeah.
But which one generates more headlines and more engagement online?
Yes. All of the clicks. Next up here, Rangers sign right-handed pitcher, a relief pitcher, Declan Cronin.
We're making moves.
Yes, to a 2-year minor league deal. He's going to miss all of 2026.
Never mind.
Due to Tommy John. So we'll see him up in the club or somewhere in 2027.
Hey, it worked with Tyler Mahle. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Cronin pitched for Skip Schumacher while he was in Miami. He had the most innings pitched as a reliever for the Marlins in 2024 with 70.1, which probably is very close to almost all of our relievers this year. They had a lot of work under their belt.
Didn't we do that with Jordan Montgomery too? Wasn't he hurt when we signed him and we only got him the back year of that deal? Or am I mistaken on that?
No, that was a mid-year.
We traded for him
that
from
was
the Cardinals.
okay. I'm mistaken on that. Sorry.
Last up here in the news, this is one that we will lament over a little bit. We've discussed it off air, but I wanted to actually bring this quote up and talk through it with you guys on air. This is the Marcus Semien quote that happened right after the end of the season. This is before any state of the team speeches or pressers. Semien is quoted as saying from Evan Grant of the Dallas Morning News, "I'm not the one making the decisions on who's in the clubhouse. I definitely know the I definitely know the kind of team I want to play on. That's guys who are hungry and want to go for a championship every single year. There were just some things that didn't work out for us as an offense, and it kind of slowed us down. That ended up being the hardest part of this season." Christopher, your thoughts?
I don't know if there was maybe a slightly different quote. Or not slightly different, a different quote from the same time where he said something about the last part of the season here is what did us in, and
it's this quote. I just didn't include it.
Okay.
He went later on.
Yeah, so then he went on. Yeah, it was basically like, no, Marcus.
Yeah,
it was definitely
April, May, and the first part of June where you, sir, were terrible.
Yeah, he was very bad,
and you guys dug the hole to get out of. I like the sentiment for sure.
I'm not sure I like even the sentiment. It almost sounds like a bitter exit. It almost sounds like something somebody would say after they're already gone.
Well,
especially the first half of it for sure.
I mean, if that's the case, then I would also like that sentiment.
Yeah.
Well, no offense, Marcus, but we're now officially on the back end of your contract. So.
I'm not the one making the decisions sounds like something somebody says after they've already left.
Yeah.
Something that, maybe a salty bitch would say.
The guys that I want to play with are hungry. You know what I mean? Like,
damn, dude,
obviously there's no way to I'd have to actually
hit the tone of voice.
You know what I mean? There's no way to gauge the way that he's.
Yeah.
But the words here that are chosen are harsh, especially the first half of this.
Yeah, it's definitely incendiary.
And I don't know, if he's throwing shade at Chris Young. If shade is being thrown, is it being thrown at Chris Young? Is it being thrown at Bruce?
Is this just frustration that's not really thrown in any
general
direction?
Being thrown at the situation where, I mean, it's got to be frustrating where you're a leader on a championship team, and here you are two disappointing seasons later with nothing else to show for it.
It's hard to say it's not thrown in any general direction when you're specifically talking about the guys on the team and the decisions made to put those guys there.
I mean, is he trying to make comments about getting no bats at the trade deadline? Because you can't say he didn't do anything because he definitely went and got pitching.
Yes.
But is he saying he made the wrong decisions? It's just, what are you saying, Marcus?
Yeah, it's a strange quote, especially coming from the person who is supposed to be the leader in your clubhouse.
It
Right.
sounds malcontent. That's, at the very least, it doesn't sound like a guy who's happy.
Yeah.
So
if your leader's not happy,
and your leader's
Either-
making $25 million a year.
either change your regime, change your leader, or change both. And we've already changed the regime. So
And went out and got literally another world-class guy. So, I mean, like, if you want to say Bruce Bochy's shtick didn't last, you know, that's one thing. But you can't say that we didn't go out and get the next best guy you could possibly get.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I was seeing other fans, you know, in the week we had between dismissing Bochy and hiring Schumacher, other teams' fan bases were clamoring to try and get that guy.
Yeah.
While he
Oh,
was
yeah.
still technically available. And it was just like, oh, honey, that's not happening. I'm sorry, you're not gonna get him.
we plucked him a long time ago for this.
And that's all for the news.
That's all for the news. Thanks, Marcus.
Oh,
Oh,
nope. I forgot I had a couple of non-Rangers news.
there's more news.
There was some non-Rangers news I wanted to bring up just because I thought it was cool. Ichiro Suzuki. There's a video. I will put it in the show notes. He is 51 entire years old. He will be 52 in like a week. Joins and balls out during Seattle's intra-squad game while they were awaiting their ALDS matchup with Detroit, which they did advance. They will be playing Toronto in the ALCS. The highlight that was circulating social media was of Ichiro snagging a very sharp liner into right field and flashing Julio Rodriguez's no-fly zone gesture, very akin to Dez throwing up the X.
I love this man.
I gotta say, I don't think I could love this guy anymore. When I think I could not love him anymore, he goes out and he does this. There, just like Allison Janney, there should be bronze and gold statues of this man in every major city. And he was
Just like Alice and Janney.
yes,
You heard the man.
and on the note of the inter-squad games, Philly, they also played an inter-squad game when they were awaiting their matchup with the Dodgers, which they did lose.
Oh my God, did you guys see the way their season ended?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's going to be the new poster child for walk-offs.
Yep.
Oh my God.
He's going to remember that for his entire life.
Oh, dude.
I guess you just forgot how many outs there were because he had whoever the batter was. He had him dead to rights.
I think he just freaked out. I think he saw the winning run coming down third base and was like, I can't score. Oh, no. But like, yeah, had he just thrown to first?
Yeah.
It was...
I did that when I was a kid.
Yeah, but you didn't do it in the NLDS, man.
That's why it was just like PTSD inducing. I was just like, I did that exact thing. It was a play to send us to a championship game.
Oh,
we
really?
had two
Oh,
outs and a
maybe you
runner on
did.
third. That was the winning run.
Oh, no, not to go to the championship
and
game.
I just brain farted and threw it to home, and
What
the
position were
runner
you
beat
playing?
the tag.
Were you second base?
Yeah.
Oh. So you came into the infield to get it, and then...
Yeah, and he's running on contact, and he beat me. He beat the play at the plate.
Dang.
Ball game over.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, honestly. Like, it's like the perfect, like, human psyche kind of, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that was... And then kudos to the Phillies team and so far the city kind of picking that guy up because, oh boy.
Yeah. That's a rough place to make a bonehead mistake like that.
I heard that, afterwards, after he did his reporter availability and, to his credit, owned up to it. Orion Kirkling or something is his name, I think.
Yeah.
Apparently he went out and was sitting in the dugout and like a couple of his teammates had to go get him and it's like, hey man, gotta go home. It's time to go home now, bud.
Last up here in the non-Rangers news, the Dallas Stars have begun to seriously considering leaving Dallas. With an uncertain future at American Airlines Center beyond 2031, they've been in discussion with Plano, Frisco, the Colony, Fort Worth, and of course Arlington as potential destinations. Plano so far is the front runner, but I have heard that if they decide to come to Arlington, that their new home will be where the ballpark in Arlington will have been used to be. However that works.
Okay.
That they would knock down the ballpark and build a brand new stadium for them, and that's what they want. They want their own brand new stadium.
That would be an enormous area of town.
One of the biggest tenants remaining at Choctaw has left.
Yeah. They
The
only
Renegades.
have one. They only have one tenant now, and that is AISD football. Because
Does the soccer league not play there anymore either?
Nope.
Oh boy.
It's just high school football.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So
The
the
countdown's
writing,
on, y'all.
Yeah, the
Who the
writing
hell
is on the
plays
wall.
there?
The Martin will play there. AHS will play there.
I thought Martin just got a new
They
stadium.
just built their new stadium, which is going to, I imagine, start moving, more high school football out of the ballpark. Because I know Arlington AHS plays there a bunch.
Arlington and Bowie, to my knowledge, have always played primarily at UTA. I guess they have both transitioned to Choctaw.
I think
I
so.
thought I had seen something where they had re-upped with UTA, though.
Really?
I don't know if it was for specific schools, but AISD in general.
And Lamar has their own facility.
Right,
Martin
right.
has their own
Cravens.
facility now. And I believe Sam Houston has always played on their campus as well.
And they don't really count as a football program.
They
anyway.
do. They count. It's Seguin that doesn't count.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
for
go.
real.
Either way,
God.
whatever's going to happen to the ballpark, if they do knock it down, you better be sure that I'm going to go get some rubble or bricks.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You'll be able to date some shots at Globe Life Field as whether or not you can see the ballpark through the
Yeah.
left field glass or
That's
not.
right. And now that is all for the news.
That's all for the news for real.
Okay, babies. We're to the meat and the potatoes of this episode, where
want a
we
pot
will
roast.
where we will welcome Skip Schumacher. Come on down. You are the next contestant on the Texas Rangers managerial job role. But first, I do want to clean a little bit of house.
So much for the Rooney Rule.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, Christopher.
We've had the white man waiting.
I will cut that. No. Tony says no.
Tony said no.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Bruce Bochy and the Texas Rangers mutually parted ways on September 29th, which means, obviously, he will not be in the dugout for 2026.
Man,
but,
who saw that one coming?
Yeah.
God, it felt like that was a long time coming at this point.
Yeah, but he very well may hang around the club and be in the front office. He was offered an advisory role. Hasn't made a decision yet, even to this day. I think we're recording Sunday, October 12th.
I can't see him picking up another team. There just doesn't seem like there's a attractive enough option, especially with Buster Posey saying that he ain't going there.
If he wasn't getting that gig, I don't think he's going to get a gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. CY even doubled down during his end-of-year press conference and said that, we still would really love to have him on the team.
I would love that.
And in a senior advisory role, which is where Skip Schumacher was, so they
just switched places.
switch places. Like you mentioned, there was speculation about him joining the Giants as the manager. The two met, Buster Posey and Bruce Bochy met.
Oh, they actually talked about it.
They did talk about it. They did not offer him the managerial role. They offered him the same role that we did, a front office senior advisory
he may
role.
choose them over us.
He very well
I would
might.
not get my feelings hurt.
Me neither.
I mean, 75% of the man's rings.
If I got offered the same job by two different people, I'm going to go with the one that didn't just fire me.
It was a mutual parting ways.
Okay, kiddo.
And I do have a quote here from the man, our World Series winning manager. I've had a blast managing this group. To be with the players has been so much fun. We had a rough 2024, but I was proud of the way the guys and the staff fought this year. We could have tanked it all when... We could have tanked it with all they went through, but we went into the last week fighting for a playoff spot. I feel good about what we accomplished here. It's been a hell of a ride.
It felt like the 25 team had more dog in it than the 24 team for sure.
Yeah.
Although
yeah.
the 25 team was disappointing.
It just it felt like the dog in the 2025 team was from unexpected and underpaid individuals.
And the dog also kept chasing its tail
Yes.
instead of a playoff spot.
So before we get into the skinny on Skip, I want to talk a little bit about some of the candidates that were thrown around, some names that were jumbling in the sphere before we officially hired Skip, one of which was Nick Hundley. He was a senior advisor, a teammate of CY's for 4 years. He was, right now, he's been dismissed. He is no longer on the team, and there is speculation that he is actually the front runner for the managing job in San Francisco.
That could be a good fit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bobby Wilson also was a possible candidate. We mentioned in the news he was released from Texas.
That almost makes me that leads me to believe that he may have a desire for a larger role.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it wasn't available here, so.
Yeah. This next man, Luis Ureta, has been our bench coach, was our bench coach last year. This is who I thought would ultimately be in the job if Skip did not get it. I thought that they were just going to bump him up. Interestingly enough, he was also Skip Schumacher's bench coach in Miami, and then he was a coach of some degree in Arizona before that.
Okay.
Michael Young and Ian Kinsler also, they were, tossed around the hopper for possible manager. I haven't heard anything on Kinsler. I believe he's still an advisor, probably still will retain his role as an advisor. Michael Young, however, has been contacted by the Los Angeles Angels in some form or fashion.
There has been all kinds of things thrown around for that managerial position.
Yeah. I heard Pujols.
Yes.
Really?
And a lot of people saying the man is like the heavy favorite. And there's a big hitch in the giddy up here is that, and this did not come from like legit blue check marks, so I don't know how true it is, but they were saying that he won't take the position with the Angels if it means he can't manage the Dominican Republic team, which he's already committed to for the World Baseball Classic. So what he's proposing, I guess, is I will have some, like, my bench coach, announce me as the manager, have my bench coach be running spring training while I'm with the DR, and then I come in the last week of spring training to manage the team going into the regular season, which seems just crazy enough for Art Moreno to actually go through with it. So, but they contacted Michael Young.
Yeah,
and that's very interesting to me.
Well, he's from the area too. I believe he's from that area.
What I was hearing is that he was a finalist. It was like him, Pujols, and like one other dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
so they're serious about him then.
I'm just surprised. I mean, I've always had the thought that as soon as Michael Young was ready to become a manager, he would have his pick of the litter. And so it seems like he may actually be stepping into the ring now.
I think we will see him in some type of managerial or bench coach role for the Texas Rangers at some point.
I hope so.
I think so. It would be really stupid for this team not to chase him. Obviously, barring any success or failure wherever he goes first.
I could see him having been a huge candidate for this spot had we not had Skip lined up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ready to go.
I even thought for bench coach possibly to even start his managerial tenure in a bench coach spot.
That'd
but
be rad.
Luis Ureta is way more, suited for the job.
Have we heard anything on Maddox yet?
Not yet. Okay. I did hear that CY mentioned in his year-end presser that Ureta, Teagues, who's the bullpen coach, and Mike Maddox, they were all still in good standing with the club. But right now, I think it's Skip's decision. He is trying to build the staff that he wants around him.
Well, Skip, here's my argument for Mike Maddox. He just had the best pitching staff in the baseball, so
yeah, let's keep him, please. One of our last guys, Robinson Chirinos, former Ranger.
This dude could absolutely be a manager.
Yes, he's been Baltimore's bench coach for I think the last 2 seasons.
He's been a bench coach?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would say the man radiates sunshine. So
yes. And then just some extra guys. I think these were just thrown around because everyone's throwing around. Rocco Baldelli, who was dismissed from Minnesota this year. That's actually who we were trying to get when we were. If Bochy was not going to be our guy,
we were going after Rocco.
Baldelli was going to be it.
He's a good manager. I think Minnesota's just trying to blow up the entire.
I think so too.
target field situation. So, yeah.
And then the last three, Bob Melvin, who was coaching for San Francisco.
Can't go wrong there.
Yep. And then Brian Snitker of the Braves.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did he get dismissed?
Yeah, he did. He's gone.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense. That's wild, though. He's been with the Braves organization for
Like 40
decades.
years.
Yeah.
And then Bud Black, who
We've been
was,
trying to get Bud Black.
he was dismissed. He's another Bruce Bochy.
I don't want to touch Bud Black.
And he was dismissed mid-season. I think even earlier than mid-season. It might have been like May.
It was not
when
his
they let
fault
him
that they
go.
were so bad, but
No.
ugh.
Okay, so now we'll get into Skip Schumacher, the man of the hour.
He's tall, guys. I swear. It's just Chris Young is 6.
I don't know. I saw that press conference. He was so short standing next to him. So he signs a 4-year deal. He, as the 21st manager in Texas Rangers history, CY had said that they had never intended to interview external candidates and did not even give permission for other teams to speak with Schumacher.
Wow. They were. Yeah. Okay.
This was the plan that they drew up in 2024. That is what they, in the offseason of 2024, they knew this guy and wanted this guy to step into this role. So he's 45 now. He's, I think, one of the, if not the youngest manager we have had. Chris Woodward might be younger than that.
I got you. I'll look it up.
Most recently, he was in Miami and won Manager of the Year that year. Turned that club around. I think they had like 15 more wins than the year previous, and actually got a playoff berth in that year. He will wear number 55.
Woodward was 43.
Okay, so Woodward would have been our youngest there. John Radigan asks during Skip's introductory press conference why the number 55. And Skip says he was at a restaurant with his dad when he was a boy and saw Oral Hershiser there. And he actually had a glove with like a laser etched Hershiser autographed in it and asked him for the real thing in that glove and got it. And Hershiser inscribed it with "To a Future Dodger," which Skip did, I believe, play for the Dodgers at some point.
I think Tommy Lasorda was there too.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda was there too. And when he did play for the Dodgers, Oral was still a part of the team. So that was super cool for him to get that number and that it means something to him.
Wouldn't you be so pissed off if your mom named you Oral?
Yeah, it was so bad. Why?
This is my brother Anal.
Texas Rangers to wear the number 55 of note.
Yeah. Who's that?
Okay, I'm struggling on the of note part.
I was about to say notes.
I mean, most recently last year was Chris Martin.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys remember Sam Huff?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably the most notable name.
Oh, man.
I mean, we got Willie Calhoun.
Okay. And that I don't think he stuck with that number.
No, I don't think so. And then Matt Moore was when he was good that year with us, but Derek Lowe.
Oh.
Ugh.
Gross.
This is Derek Lowe after he beat us in the freaking wild card game the year before.
You might be wondering why he did not manage a team last season. And that was because... here it is. Before the start of the 2024 season, when he was with Miami, he requested that his 2025 team option to be removed. The regime had changed from 23 to 24. And the current GM, Kim Ing, thank you, was not considered for the president of baseball operation for the 2024 season, and he left the club.
I did not know he left in protest of that move, because I remember when they did that to her, that I was like, what the hell? They literally just made the playoffs.
Yes.
Like, you guys are tripping.
Yep. Skip talks about the regime change a little bit later in his press conference. So because of all of that happening and the moves in the front office were going a complete 180 from what the team had just accomplished, that's why he decided that he was not going to manage any further. He said that his decision was in disagreement with the direction that the front office club was taking.
I wonder if, I know it's, a year ago, but if at that time that looking at Chris Young, he was like, that guy's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. I do have a quote from the man. This was not during his presser. I think it was probably during the end of year thing. But Skip says, I am honored and excited for this opportunity to manage the Rangers. While I attained a good understanding of the organization through my front office role this past season, the conversations with Chris Young and Ross Fenstermaker, as well as others this week, have only intensified my interest in this opportunity. I cannot wait to begin the work for 2020 Skip.
2020 Skip.
You like that? All right, so that is a little bit about him. We'll get into his press conference a little later, but the man did play baseball for sure for about 10 years, so I'm going to kick it on over to...
Oh, I remember him.
I will kick it on over to you fellas. If you want to get into some of his playing career, I'll pull up his baseball reference page and chirp in when I can.
Absolutely. Skip Schumacher was drafted in the 5th round by St. Louis out of UC Santa Barbara after he hit 400 in his only season as the starting shortstop.
Dang.
After batting .316 during the 2004 season, he received a spring training invite for 2005 and would join the team in early June that season. Serving as a utility outfield and late-inning defensive replacement, he hit .250 in 27 games that year.
He continues in this role for the next couple of years as his struggles against lefties, carrying a .210 average, inhibits his club's ability to play him regularly.
However, in 2009, Skip makes the transition to second base and won the job outright for 2 seasons and was the primary second baseman in 2011 and his bitch-ass world champion bitch-ass St. Louis bitch-ass Cardinals.
In 2013, he was traded to the Dodgers for minor leaguer shortstop Jake Lemmerman.
Who?
Exactly. And he hit .263 for the Dodgers that year.
Dinkelberg. He wrapped up his career in Cincinnati in 2014 and 2015, hitting .235 and .242 respectively. He did receive a spring training invite from the San Diego Padres for 2016, but he decided to hang them up. He said that one ring in 2011 was worth all of it. So
he actually also received a championship ring from the '06 Cardinals team, even though he wasn't technically a part of that team.
Oh, wow, did he really?
Oh, so he's a bitch-ass bitch.
A patient contact hitter who rarely struck out and had a great glove at multiple positions, respected by his teammates for being a consummate professional and a great clubhouse presence.
He's the quintessential glue guy. He does things well. Loves the dirty jersey and gets along with his teammates. Very, very Michael Young-like.
Yeah.
His excellence in the intangibles, adaptability, and focus on fundamentals were all dead giveaways that he could be an excellent manager one day.
I wonder if he's the kind of guy that knew a few years before he hung it up. And he's like, this is where this is going.
Well, I think for most of those guys, they kind of get picked. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you got what it takes kind of thing.
I remember during Stephen Vogt's last year playing, he was just like parked next to his manager all season long.
Bending that ear, trying to suck up all the wisdom he can.
Yup.
Looking at some of these offensive numbers, we chatted a little bit before we started, just kind of seeing where this guy was. He had a 1.6 career WAR, which is strange because
I would have promised you it was higher than that.
Yeah, because his play on the field with just how he was, you would not think 1.6 was anywhere close. You guys talked about the defensive abilities that he had, both at second base and in the outfield, and I was going through his range factor throughout all of his years, and he was, for the most part, consistently above and at sometimes wildly above league average.
Did he remain at second base for the rest of his career?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and I mean some of these range factor numbers are just ungodly. There's a couple of year stretch where it's double what the league average is at second base and at specifically center field.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Sounds like Marcus and him will get along really well then.
Yes. Never really a power guy. Only had about 28 home runs in his career. The most he ever hit was 8 in a season. Not really a fast guy, which is strange because he's only 5'10". He's short to the ground. You would think he'd have a little bit of speed. Didn't really swipe a lot of bags either. 26 bags.
You know who this really reminds me a lot of is Elvis Andrus.
Okay.
Just never, the power never quite developed. Slap hitter, below average offensively. Elvis maybe never was quite as dominant in any one given season at shortstop as Skip was at second base, but
Could have been if he played second base, probably.
yeah, honestly, it's surprising that he never really switched to second base until I think the last year of his career when he was playing with the White Sox. Even when he went to Oakland after us, he was playing short. I guess he took over for Marcus, but
I think he's got a couple of mop-up pitching starts.
Skip does?
I think he does.
oh, nice.
He had one. It looks like he pitched an inning for St. Louis in 2011, 2 innings for the Dodgers in 2013, and an inning for Cincinnati in 2014.
I think the St. Louis appearance, he struck out 2, and then he gave up a 2-run bomb.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah, because his other 2 outings in the one in L.A. and the one in Cincinnati gave up no earned runs. That's wild. Struck out a guy. That's always fun to see.
I'm about to look him up and see if he actually brought gas or if he's lobbing.
Yeah. I'm looking at his walk totals. Looks like the guy walked a lot.
Yeah. Definitely a good eye at the plate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, walk totals 47, 52, 43. Falls off a little bit after that. 27, 27, 28.
The very first pitch he throws is high and tight at 91. And when I mean high and tight, he almost hit the dude in the head.
Good God. 91 is a lot for a guy who is not a pitcher.
Back off my plate.
And the second pitch was 90. 90.
Right.
Yeah, he was trying to throw. He was trying out there. Interesting. Okay.
Hell yeah. As far as Skip Schumacher's road to the Texas Rangers manager job, he did play. Let's see, where was he at? Oh, he coached for the Padres and was a bench coach as well for the Cardinals. And then after that he went over to the Marlins with in 2023. I think when he was the bench coach for both of the Padres and the Cardinals, they were for brand new managers who had not managed before.
Interesting. A lot of times they like to put a veteran manager in that role who's still kind of hanging around. Or a veteran, baseball guy, I guess. Well, I guess that's what Skip is. Okay. Talked myself into it.
I want to take you now to his press conference, his introductory press conference with Chris Young and Ross Fenstermaker. If you haven't watched the presser, and I will put it in the show notes, it is at least worth watching the first couple of minutes before he speaks.
He was a boy amongst men.
Yes, because him and Ross and CY, they all pose for a photo after he puts on the 55 jersey. And he's at least 2 feet shorter than CY. He even joked, maybe I should be standing up on this chair for this photo.
Uppies.
Uppies.
So Schumacher's listed at 5'10".
Yes.
And CY, I think, is 6'10".
Yeah.
So a literal foot.
Yeah.
And then Fenstermaker is probably 6'4".
Yeah.
So, it's like a normal guy posing with a tall guy and a giant.
Yeah.
So
So I'll take you through. I watched the entire 40-minute or so press conference, and I pulled out some of the best questions and answers that I thought. So you will hear from a lot of the DFW journalism regulars. First up was Jeff Wilson of the DLLS podcast, and he asks, what was so attractive about the job offer? And Skip mentions how it was unique to have learned, to be able to be there for a whole year and learn the philosophy of a team from the front office before stepping into a role. He said, this is something that is not really done ever in baseball.
No.
You don't get that luxury. He also said that his and CY's alignment for winning is spot on. They are in lockstep.
You love that.
He's quoted exactly as saying, "It's exactly who I am. Winning culture to me is all about elite communication." That you will hear that word a lot in this. And we will have the best communication from the front office down to the clubhouse staff.
I wonder if that's insinuating maybe we didn't have that.
Maybe.
No, I don't think that's insinuating that.
It's just saying that's something he prides himself on.
I think that's just speaking to what he was saying earlier about how this is a one-of-one scenario and that how we have an advantage that no one else has ever really experienced in that regard.
Yeah, you really did get to work side by side with your boss, in a sense.
Yeah.
So
Next up was Kennedy Landry, and she asks, what have you reflected on the most with your time in Miami now being a year removed from it? And Skip says that he was, always trying to grow year over year. He's quoted, the last thing I wanted it to be was 1 foot in and 1 foot out of anything, even though I had an idea of how it was going to end up. And that's very telling. Oh, God. And that's very telling for the Miami front office. He also mentioned that he was able to get a genuine understanding of how front offices work, how minor league systems run, basically, the business side of things from two very different viewpoints between the two very different regimes in Miami.
This is what not to do, and this is what you do.
Yes, yeah. Sean McFarland, next up from the Dallas Morning News, asks, where are the areas of improvement after this season's performance? And he is quoted directly, developing a winning clubhouse culture is going to be the number one thing on my list. And he is going to continue to develop relationships with players and starting fresh and trying to build a staff around the players to win, specifically to get into the postseason every year and make deep runs every year.
yes,
These are the things.
10 out of 10, no notes.
Yeah. I thought it was telling that the clubhouse culture was the thing that he said was number one on his list. We, talked about the Pilar's exit interview on whatever show that was, and so I think some of this is starting to come to a head. Skip is realizing that there is some tumultuousness specifically around the communication and who is leading the clubhouse. Next up is John Radigan, also from the DLLS podcast. He asks, have you had enough time to analyze the staff and decide what you want to do? Skip says, obviously, we're in conversations now. I expect to have a couple of those guys back for sure. Luis Ureta, probably number one. And I'm praying to God Mike Maddox is number two. Pretty much
They know
other
what's
than
good
that,
for them.
yeah, other than that, I'm not really worried about anybody else. Evan Grant from the Dallas Morning News comes up next. He says he's heard He's heard from a lot of people that Skip is great at building relationships and asked him what goes into that. Skip says, organic conversation. Players want to know where they're at. He wants to take the guesswork out of it. He's willing to have the tough conversations and not sugarcoat things, which will build respect and trust. He goes on to say, my least favorite phrase is, that's just who they are. That's a lazy quote from a coach, he says. That is not what I want or expect.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that.
Yes, and to this point, he talked a little bit about the winning culture formula. He says it's really hard to define, but he has an acronym that has kind of got him through his managerial tenure, and that's CARE. That is communication, alignment, preparation, and execution in that order. So I think we're going to see a very communicative and hopefully, laced up bonding, family, ELE type of clubhouse, which I feel is desperately needed after this past season.
Kind of cool that past 2 times we had a managerial open, we got the best candidate available.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's go.
That never happens. I think it's interesting to note. I want to talk Tony La Russa. Tony, not a great human being. Not a great human being.
Yeah, you're mean Mercedes.
An excellent manager.
Yeah.
An
Right.
all-time manager who not only
Shingles.
seems to have been able to manage the ball club and get them to win, but also instill that winning culture in those key players who are then turning around and turning into potential managers themselves. Skip. We talked about Pujols with the Angels. Yachty.
see.
Everybody talks about Yachty being a
Yachty,
manager
yep.
one day. It's one thing to be able to win. It's another thing to be able to teach that to others.
Develop leaders.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't get it. Took till you said Skip's name. I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, played almost a decade under Tony, so.
It's interesting that you bring up Tony La Russa because he is in my last little nugget from here. This one from Mac Engel, who I had no idea was still a journalist at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
That's good. He's a character.
Yeah. He asks, who have you tried to emulate as a manager that you have also played with? And he says, Tony La Russa. Told Skip...
That's a softball question, Mac. Oh, my God.
So he says, Tony La Russa told him, when you make a move, you trust your gut. Don't make a move to cover your butt.
Well, somebody put that in a country song.
Yes.
Right?
I need it needle pointed on a pillow.
Yes. Yes.
The other thing he had said that, Tony passed on to him was to just be really good at hiring and
Coaches?
Yes.
Okay.
Or just, I would assume coaches for the most part.
Put the right people in your clubhouse?
Exactly. And he Skip noted that was the most important thing for him right now.
Okay.
Is to put the butts in the seats of the guys who need to be there.
Well, if that's the case, he needs to be retaining Mike Maddox.
Yes. Yeah. We will riot. And now we will take you to one of our favorite segments, Tony Cook's assistant to the assistant GM.
Welcome in, welcome in. The subject today is pretty much just reiterating what we talked about in this last section. And I just want to talk about the luxury that we just spoke about having a guy waiting in the wings, having a guy that's capable in the job now, and knowing that you have a guy that's capable if something were to happen tomorrow as well.
It could be worse. You could always hire Chris Woodward.
And how, right? And how that is a luxury reserved for the best run franchises in all of sports.
Go on.
That's an element that
says
you can recognize in, I think about like San Francisco moving from Montana to Steve Young. You move off them a couple years early and you keep the you keep the team going.
Mm-hmm.
I think about the best example for me is
the Dallas Cowboys when Wade Phillips had Dave Campo and Jason Garrett on his staff, and he had the past, current, and future coach.
The reason I'm struggling because I don't want to put this kind of pressure on this situation.
Okay.
And
what are you about to lay down?
I don't want to put the pressure on it.
Okay.
But that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Jerry Krause having Phil Jackson on the coaching staff for the Bulls, and just kind of just waiting in the wings, waiting for his moment. You know what I mean? And obviously we don't want to put that because that was 6 championships.
Who was the Jordan's first coach or whatever?
It wasn't his first coach, but it was Doug Collins.
Who
brought them to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then they fired him.
They just couldn't get over the hump with him, right? Isn't that what it was?
So they had progressed every year.
Okay.
They went like a round further every year, and when they got to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to the Pistons, they fired him.
Well, at least they chose right.
It was gutsy. It was bold, and they just hired from within was even more bold, and it was the best thing ever.
All it takes is a triangle and
right,
a little bit of geometry.
but yeah, so the best run organizations in sports don't hold on to a guy too long, whether it's a player or a coach or a system or a philosophy. The winning is the philosophy. And sometimes that comes with consistency, like Pittsburgh with their 3 head coaches in the history of their franchise.
Yeah.
Sometimes that comes with moving off a guy a little bit before his time comes to an end in order to ensure the health of your franchise. But it's a philosophy that only the best of the best in all of sports are capable of doing on a year in, year out basis. And we don't have a history of that here. But just being able to do that in a vacuum is a great sign for the future of this franchise.
Yeah. I think we owe a lot of that to Chris Young because he has really brought a lot of stability to not only what is currently happening, but being able to look 5 years down the road and knowing that we can't have this lapse in juggernautness or wisdom in a managerial role, just specifically the managerial role, and knowing that to be able to keep that similar mentality that he's got to be able to look past the now and plan for that, so that there is not this lull where you are feeling like you're having to not only rebuild a team in minorly or majorly, but also having to rebuild a front office and a coaching staff at the same time.
That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
You know who I think deserves some flowers here? Is the most controversial figure in Rangers history.
Ray Davis.
John Daniels.
Oh, damn you.
Pretty much. I mean... But like,
I mean, he really was. He was,
he hired Chris Young.
Yeah.
So I don't think his tenure ended the way he wanted it to.
No.
But I think he had intentions of Chris Young being the heir apparent.
Yeah.
So
You think so?
Oh yeah.
You think
Or
you really think he hired his replacement and knew it when he did it?
Either I think he knew it was a possibility. I think it was either he hired him to be his replacement because it was a good person to bring into the organization, like surround yourself with people that are smarter than you kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Or it was either he was going to be his replacement or he was essentially grooming him to be a Pobo in some other organization, because I think that was Chris Young's ultimate goal. So I don't think he left his vice president of baseball operations at MLB to not run a baseball team. So
yeah. Well, and that speaks too about because I feel like John Daniels, when he entered the scene and
he also signed most of the players on the 23 team.
Yeah. Was like supposed to be, and it really was, kind of the stepping stone of having a really solid front office and coaching staff at all times. And we kept him a little too long and did not get to benefit from him lining up things later, which is why we had Jeff Bannister, which is why we had Chris Woodward, and all of the very terrible late 20 teens
He
years.
would not commit to a rebuild when he should have.
Yes.
It took him about 5 years too long.
Yeah.
That's all I had. I'm just really happy with this hire. I'm really happy
man.
Yeah.
I think we're all happy at this point that we moved on from Bochy. That it was
it was time.
And then it wasn't dramatic. That is,
like had Bochy said, "Let's go for one more," I'm like, I would have been all right. Like it would have been okay. It would have been less than ideal, I think. But I mean, it's Bruce Bochy.
No.
But
with the
I would have needed more roster changes if that was the case. But
what have you done for me lately?
Got you a ring.
Ooh, yeah.
Who was the other Rangers manager who got a ring?
Well, just because you've always been doesn't mean you have to cling to the one thing that hasn't been
I will say,
touche, sir. Touche.
With some of the things that have been circulating,
you really think the Eagles are just all in on their coach?
Oh, yeah, what was it? Doug Peterson?
Doug Peterson.
And then we went out and got Sirianni.
With a lot of the things that have been going about how payroll's going to get cut, and we're looking at a younger outlook for the team next year.
I think Chris Young can be crafty with that payroll.
Yeah, and I think, and he's said too that even though we're going to cut payroll, we're not like slashing it. We're still going to spend competitively. Even we will be outspending some of the teams who were in the postseason. Not at now, because we only got like 4 teams left.
I doubt the Mariners are spending a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like, and I was chatting with your dad about this at my show last Friday, and he said the same thing, which I was trying to bring this nugget, and he pulled it out of his own mind, was that Bruce Bochy is more suited to manage a veteran team.
We're
team
not going that direction.
Exactly, and we are not going in that direction. Skip Schumacher is the perfect person to be managing this team in the direction that they want to go, which is younger guys and someone who is more hands-on, someone who's actually going to be out in the field, fielding grounders during batting practice and stuff with them. Well, thank you, dear listeners, for playing along on another episode of The Ranger Zone.
The Ranger Zone.
Yeah.
It always means a great deal that you take the time to spend the time with us. That feeling when you take the first sip of a fountain Coke and instantly realize it's all carbonation and no syrup.
I've stopped reading these in advance, and I'm glad.
As always, you can keep up with us trying to keep up with social media on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That's right, we are back on YouTube. We were down for a minute, but we're back. At Ranger Zone Pod, that is at Ranger Zone Pod. We are worth a follow for the nonsense alone. And of course, you can listen to us just about anywhere you listen to your podcast. Thank you again. This has been the Ranger Zone, and I have been Robbie Belusic.
I have been Chris Green.
I have been Tony Cook.
And that's the way the baseball go.